Is India ready for a new kind of politics, and can the young politicians in this country change the political narrative of this country? Well, that's what we're going to touch upon, and to take it from here, well, I'd be moderating this session, and I'd like to call upon Nusrat Jahan, Lok Sabha MP, TMC, Agnimitra Paul, President BJP, Mahila Morcha. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise a warm applause for our panelists. Good afternoon, ladies. All right, so it's often said that and very aptly said, and I'm sure both of you agree, that we're a very, very young country, steeped in old leadership. Very young, full of old leaders. And just to go with some of the figures that we have, 65% of India is below the age of 35. Median age of that would come to about 29 years. Let's look at the average age of MPs in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha combined. Nusrat, you're in the Lok Sabha. The average age is about 55 years. The median age of our MPs is 50 years. So pretty much the fault lines are quite exposed in that, where how young as a country we are, where our aspirations sometimes don't quite match the people who are representing it. So when somebody as young as the both of you are blooded into politics, given positions of power, Ms. Paul, you are in a position of power, you head the Mahila Morcha for the Bharatiya Janata Party, or positions of great importance, Nusrat, and 3.5 lakh votes is what you won in Bashirhat of. So, and put in a position like that, there are a lot of questions which come up, some warranted, some highly unwarranted. But one of the warranted questions is, what's brought you both here? Why are you here? And what is it that you bring to the table? Because you're young, you represent 65% of this country. Both of you joined Indian politics pretty much the same month in the same year, March 2019, right? And both of you today stand in very different positions where ideology is concerned. But I want to begin with that, and Nusrat, let's go with you. Why, forget about all the questions that come. Why are you here? And what does Nusrat Jahan bring to the table when it talks to that 65% it represents in this country?
Very, very good afternoon to all present here. Thank you, Preeti, for introducing us. Made it sound such powerhouse. And it's always lovely sharing the stage with Agnidi. She's a lovely human being, and I've been very fond of her. So before I start off, so when I got the mail from India Today team that we are going to be discussing on a topic, it read, accidental politicians. That's what it read. It sounded very, very harsh. So I would like to acknowledge and say kudos to the entire team to change it, to change the entire topic of discussion today and make it sound much less harsh. I would like big round of applause to the entire team. I would request you all on my behalf, please. They've actually done this for us. Because being accidental politician sounds very harsh. It sounds slightly mean. So when we talk about the youth today in politics, so politics has always had people from different fields coming together, being celebrated together. When you leave out the youth, a big portion goes missing. A big portion is not being able to raise their voices or cause any influence in the decision-making in the governance of a country. So why would we let that happen? Like, youth in politics is a global phenomenon. Why would India be lagging behind? Why would someone not take the initiative of being a part of active politics in India as a youth? We'll talk about it. There are like n number of reasons why the youth today would stand from far and criticize politics and not want to be completely into it. But again, you see, let's go back in the times of history, be it any Indian freedom movement, or be it any movement to create states or any revolutionary movement, it has all been led, sustained, and inspired by selfless sacrifices of the youth. And me, being part of the youth, I aspire to bring about a change. I probably do not want to change the rulers, but I do want to change the system by which the country is being ruled. And what better way than getting into politics where me as a youth would not, for politics for me would not just be contesting elections and then winning with a whooping vote of 3.5 lakhs, but the wider perspective is be the change, be the game changer. It actually gave me the opportunity to take up a lot of issues, to cause a lot of awareness, to bring about a lot of difference in various fields. For instance, education, or for instance, various fields where I can bring about a change, representing the youth of India today. So why wouldn't I do that? I took the initiative. And I'm sure today, with people like us being part of the new age India, there are a lot more younger people who would want to be part of active politics and want to be actively participating in the decision making of the country. This is what I'm looking forward to. This is what the new India demands, because the youth is, they are the torchbearers who can free India of all possible social and political evils. And it's time, and it's a high time that we start working towards it. Because, for me, politics is, what do I say? It's, in simple words, it's more conscious and uninterrupted understanding of what? Society and people's issues. For people like us who do not come from hardcore political background, it's just about understanding people's issues. It's about, for example, getting the public sector welfare institutions more democratized. It's about getting the government to reach the disadvantaged. Thus, I want to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor, and thus the government should be available for everybody so that everybody has a dignified and good life. That's what I want to bring to the table.
All right, so like I said, both of you represent 65% of the country, but it's not every day that the likes of both of you can sit here and represent the youth. So there is an advantage from the fields that both of you have come from. But we'll get to that. And Ms. Paul, coming back to what I asked Nusrat, forget about all that's gone down in print and otherwise on the both of you entering politics. In your mind, why are you here, and what does Ms. Agnimitra Paul bring to the table?
A very good afternoon to the lovely audience present here. Thank you, India Today, for giving me this platform, this prestigious platform. I feel so privileged. See, I have been a designer for the last 23 years. This is my 24th year. And very fortunately, Nusrat has been my model, my showstopper.
That's what I was wondering. In an alternate universe,
yes,
you would be the designer and she could be your muse.
Yes.
But that alternate universe is today's reality, where both of you are sitting on opposite sides of the spectrum, representing two very different.
But I would still wear something if she designs for me. Why not? I wouldn't let opposition or politics come in between personal relationship that I behold with her.
Absolutely.
I'll come in. She's designed a really cool mask. Want to wear that?
Which mask are you talking about?
I would love to.
Mask is all
we have designed.
We all need masks for our own protection, and we all need our ideologies to protect ourselves also. So a mask, little more on the neutral grounds, is most welcome, Didi.
So I have always been associated with a number of NGOs and social work. I have been doing with Kolkata Police, with the Loreto Convent School. And I had a school, I was doing a project in Sundarban, where we were teaching stitching to the women over there. And I thought of, probably touching more lives. In 2014, I joined BJP through dialing the phone number. But 2019, I thought of doing active politics. That's because, my role model, my icon is my Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and I'm so influenced by the work that he has been doing, especially the projects that he has been promoting, for the women. like the grassroots women, like the toilets that he has been giving, the Ujjala gas, the one-stop center project for the rape victims. And also something, which kind of pushed me into politics was the kind of killings happening in West Bengal, the rapes happening on the women of West Bengal, which we have been seeing for the last so many years. And fortunately or unfortunately, I joined in 2019 and I was made the president of Mahila Morcha in 2020. In just 1 year's time, I'm so thankful to my party senior leaders for having the faith on me. But from 2020 till date, Preeti, there hasn't been a single day when I didn't have to rush to different parts of Bengal where a woman or a child hasn't been tortured. So this was again a reason to work for the security of women, to do something for the women, to do something for the people of Bengal, because all these years, they were just not given anything and they were fooled by one government after the other.
On that very note, taking care of the girl child and empowering the girl child are two very different things. So on that note, I have just one question that I put up in front of all you people, that if the central government really cares about empowerment, then why today Mamata Banerjee's party has 41% of women in the Lok Sabha and 31% in the Rajya Sabha, and the national percentage is just 12. So why are we not getting the women reservation bill tomorrow? Get it in March? Even if the Lok Sabha, the bill gets dissolved in the Lok Sabha, keep it in Rajya Sabha, have a debate, and get over with it. Empowerment is very, very, very important. So we do not really wait for the bills to empower our women here. Bengal is all about women empowerment.
Okay.
Bengal is all about Ma Durga. Bengal is all about being a woman of substance, which is led by a woman of substance today, which is Mamata Banerjee.
All right.
But if a woman of substance, Mamata Banerjee, is leading the government, I'm very happy that she had come to power in 2011, and ordinary women like us, we had a lot of hopes that she would do many things for the women of Bengal. But I would like to ask the audience over here and the thousands and lakhs of audience who have been watching us in television, why is it that NCRB data is not being sent to center from 2018? Why we are #1 in women trafficking? If she is Ma Durga and West Bengal is for women empowerment and TMC is for women empowerment, why is child trafficking #1? Why is acid abuse #1 in West Bengal? My question.
Okay.
And
All right.
Mamata Di has been giving cycles. I really appreciate you all have been giving cycles. But why are those cycles not being made in West Bengal? We have been talking about MSME, cottage industry, give employment to women,
Okay.
give employment
So
to the
if
men.
the cycles
The
are
cycles
not
are being made
in West
outside.
Bengal, why is the opposition taking up the same cycles and moving around
Okay.
from one place to
All
another?
right, ladies, what we did.
See, I appreciate, Nusrat, that cycles have been given, but these are all broken cycles.
Okay.
Some are, of course, working. And
At
the
least
cycles
scooters
been
have
given.
not reached yet.
The cycles
The
have been
mopeds
given
and scooters
for the,
promised
Okay,
by the
ladies,
centers
ladies.
haven't reached yet.
Ladies,
At
the
least-
cycles have
ladies.
been given for the girls of Bengal to go to
Ladies.
school.
Just
The schools
backstage-
aren't there.
Ladies, just backstage, both of you said, we're not going to fight. It's going to be very cordial.
We
It's
are
going to
not
be very
fighting.
easy.
We are
We
just-
aren't fighting
we are
at all.
just,
Great.
We are
being
just discussing.
opinionated. We're
We are just discussing.
All right, opinionated, fiery, young, that's exactly what we want. But like I said, in an alternate universe, you could have been the designer, she could have been the muse.
We still can be the same.
Yeah,
But like I said, the designer mask that she was trying to give to you, you don't want to wear that, do you? But having said that.
That is not a designer mask.
Okay.
That is
You
not
wanna
a
just show it to
designer
our
mask.
audience what it
And
is?
I, as the model, I can choose to say, I can choose to request my designer to, and I can say that, Didi, I don't like the color.
You know, the mask
I
that
probably
she's-
don't like the color. Just change the
So-
color. Bring
so
in more color.
I promise to the audience that I'll make a blue mask with the lotus symbol
Okay, this
in
is what she
orange.
was, okay, so this is
And
what
what
she
if
was, can you
blue
show the
mask
mask? What
with the
she's
lotus
talking
symbol?
about? Okay.
Didi, I hope.
Okay, no,
I-
you don't
I-
need to wear it. You don't need to wear it. All right, so the fact is, coming back to the 65% of the youth that both of you represent in this country, can the youth leaders that you both are change the political narrative of this country where you stand on such opposite polar divides? You know, look at for any issue that we've talked about which is facing your state, which is going into what anybody would easily say is a tectonic election. Let's go one by one. Where you talk about today, the youth in this country is highly divided on each issues that face the center and your state. Let's talk about religion. Nusrat, let's go with you. What happened was about a couple of weeks ago is when Mamata Banerjee was right here and she walked off when chants of Jai Shri Ram echoed, right? Now, religion is subjective. You said that this is not a religious chant, this is a political chant. Where do you stand on this?
I still stand by what I said. Because the question again crops up that why Jai Shri Ram, which is just chanting Ram's name, in our country which says that we have freedom of speech, why would someone get irritated or annoyed? What we don't see is the intention behind using the chant as a political slogan. I had also said that if Jai Shri Ram is not a political slogan, I stand by my words by saying that Ma Mati Manush is not TMC's slogan also. It is just the way you use it to annoy someone because you're making it more political. You're getting religion, using religion as a political agenda just to annoy someone. And moreover, that event wasn't a political event.
All right.
It wasn't a political event.
All right, but okay, I'll get you in. Now, there are different points of views. Some say that religion and politics is intrinsic, you can't divide it. But somebody who's representing a part of the youth which feels, today you do stand by the chant of Jai Shri Ram as your Rath rolls through West Bengal, don't you? What is your take on this?
See, I don't agree with Nusrat that Jai Shri Ram is a political slogan. Ram Ram, Jai Shri Ram, this has been, we have been chanting this for last thousands and thousands of years. Jai Siya Ram or Jai Shri Ram is about prosperity, is about development.
More million Hindu gods.
I just wish my CM would have been little more sporting than, spoiling the entire program on the 23rd and trying to insult our Honorable Prime Minister and spoiling, and not only insult the Honorable Prime Minister, trying to insult Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose.
I'm going to come in
She was
right now.
heckled. It wasn't a political
Let's go one by
event.
one.
If
Okay,
she is
it's
a
not- this is
citizen,
not a
And
TV
why
debate.
was the
If she is a citizen of
Honorable
India,
Prime Minister silent
if she
when
is
a woman was
Hindu,
heckled on stage?
If she is a Hindu, if she is a citizen of India, what is her problem in chanting
I think
Jai
she's
Shri
more
Ram?
secular
She
than
should have
anybody.
been
Bengal has
sporting
always
enough.
been very, very
She should
secular.
have been sporting
Bruce, I'm
enough
gonna come in.
and
I'm
say
gonna come
Jai
in.
Shri Ram. She
I'm
should have
gonna
been
stand
sporting
right
enough.
here.
36 more million gods say Joy Ma
Mati
Kali
Manush
also.
is not
Joy Ma
is
Kali
completely
also.
a political
ladies,
statement.
can I come
Say
in?
Ganpati
Can I
Bappa
come
Moria.
in?
Mati Manush is a political
Can I
statement.
come in?
Jai Shri Ram
Nobody
is
can hear you.
a
say
slogan of
everything.
India
Nobody
for
can
the
hear
last
you.
thousands
God
of
more
years.
secular.
Okay, let's quickly
India is
change.
just not about
Okay,
Hinduism. India
okay.
has lot many more religions.
Okay,
We are all
I want to
living here
move on.
together.
Okay, I want to move on. The fact
If
is,
Honorable CM can say in an official program, in a government program, la ilaha
All right, okay.
illallah, if
Tell
she
me,
can
madam.
say that,
Tell me,
then
madam.
what is the
Why
problem
not?
in having...
okay, I want to ask you, Miss Paul,
why
Miss
just
Paul,
use
Miss
a-
Paul, I want to ask you. Are you equally comfortable with Jai Shri Ram and slogans of any other religion?
Absolutely.
You're fine with that.
Absolutely,
Not a problem
yes.
with
If
that.
you
Okay.
ask me, I am also equally comfortable if you take any god's name.
Okay.
You chant any god's name.
Then
it's
why
not
was she
personal.
so
Okay,
annoyed?
I'm
Why did
moderator.
she-
I'm moderator.
Why did she come out of the car and she ran after the children?
Let's go one
when
by
she
one.
was going
Madam,
along
let's go
the-
one by one. Let's not make it into a television debate. Let's go one by one.
Why
Calm
did
down.
she-
Can I get you some water?
Unnecessarily, we're just giving high TRP.
All
I'm
right,
saying,
okay.
why did the Honorable CM had to get down of the car and run after those children who
Okay,
had
let's
said,
not. Okay, can we
she's
just,
making a fool of
All right,
herself.
where we talk about all religions are equal, why was it a problem when Nusrat dressed as Durga to wish everybody I think Durga Puja, and
Yes, I
a
get
lot
that
of
threat.
a lot of the flack that she got was from your party cadre. Is it because she's Muslim?
See, it was not an official statement. I, as a woman and Mahila Morcha's president, has always been supporting this. I have always supported Nusrat. I have supported Mimi also when Mimi was attacked by a auto driver. I had protested that.
Let's go one by one. Let's go one
women.
by one. Yeah.
I'm always by women.
So
It
she
is
was
not-
fine. So she was fine that she dressed as Ma Durga.
Absolutely. Why
So-
not?
So you don't agree with your own cadre, which went after her like how?
I'm saying that wasn't an official statement. If some leader says something,
Okay.
that is not a party statement.
All right, let's move on. I want to touch on a lot of contentious issues which face the youth today, which are divided. Let's talk about love jihad. What's your take on love jihad? Are you okay with the law that most of the states have right now? UP's adopted it. There are 5 states looking at adopting it. Ms. Paul, you go
Yes,
first.
of course. It's a serious problem. It's a serious problem which is happening in the border states. If you, in the border areas, in the border villages, if you go to Murshidabad, Malda, these kind of states, you hardly find Hindu families over there. In Calcutta, in the city of joy in Calcutta, this has been happening. You know, boys of the minority community, they have been, playing this love game. And
Would you advocate the same law for West Bengal? You're the
See,
Mahila Morcha head.
I am a very, very simple karyakarta. I will not talk about laws. But definitely this is something which is wrong. What is happening is something wrong. And there need to be measures to check it.
All right, Nusrat, you've had a very strong
I
take
agree
on it.
what she's saying is, if something wrong is happening, that should be taken care of. Do we not trust our judiciary system? Can this country not trust the judiciary system when it comes to something wrong like love jihad happening to any particular family? The system will take care of that. But the system will not bring about a rule which sounds more autocratic than democratic, where you will tell us what to eat, what to wear, who to marry, who to fall in love with,
Nusrat, I want to
and
ask
to do what.
a personal question. Would you think it would have been easier right now, which is easier for you? Would it be more difficult? Let's say if you were a Hindu woman and you were marrying a Muslim man, would that be more difficult if you turn the situation?
Why do we have to think like that? We are living in free India. Why do we have to think like that? It will be difficult for me if I'm a Hindu. It will be difficult for me if I'm a Muslim. It will be difficult for me if I'm a Christian. No. It will be very difficult if somebody else starts judging me like that. It's my life. I choose to be with whoever I want to be with. And if in the process something wrong happens, Didi, let me just finish. If something wrong happens, you cannot really blame the entire community for just a few causing ruckus. Then comes in between the judiciary system who has to step in and take the necessary steps to be taken.
Okay.
It has to be done.
All right, let's move on to the other thing which is highly contentious. And once again, the youth of this country are standing on two very, very different, polar opposite sides of the divide. Let's talk about freedom of expression. Now, we'll begin with you, madam. In West Bengal, Ms. Paul, the BJP is saying that there is no freedom of expression. Mamata Banerjee is a dictator. Now, you look at a national scale, the TMC is saying the same thing about the center, where that this is a dictatorship and there is no freedom of expression in the country. So what you're doing on a national state, you're facing the same question in your own state, where Mamata Banerjee is concerned. Go first, ma'am.
See, Preeti, in West Bengal, we have seen cases. A Mahila Morcha member from Howrah, she had created a meme and she was sentenced to jail for quite a few days. We all know about the case of the Jadavpur professor who had created a sketch of Honorable CM, and she was also harassed and heckled.
Have you heard of JNU?
Sorry?
Have you heard of JNU?
Of course.
And you know what's happening in Delhi?
See, what is happening in JNU, what is happening with what had happened at the Delhi riot,
Ma'am,
what
my
has
question
happened
is-
on 26th of January.
No, ma'am, I'm
It
not
is
talking
not
about an
exactly
incident. I'm leading
what
to
we
a
are
larger
seeing.
question. I'm leading to a larger question, and that's why I'm coming.
We are
in.
not-
It's
it
the
is not-
hypocrisy of it
we
all.
have- we have-
It's the hypocrisy of it all. Because what you are blaming and what you are saying in the state, what you're accusing this government
in
of,
West Bengal,
you're facing the same questions
West
by
Bengal,
this.
there is no freedom of expression.
Okay.
If you are BJP or if you are not BJP also, if you write something in your social media handle, you will be arrested, taken into custody, and you will be heckled and harassed and threatened.
Ma'am, you know what's happening on a national scale when we talk about social media handles on what's happening in the center right now?
I don't support it. If that is it's something which is happening at the center, I really
face
don't
it every day.
support it.
If you
Okay.
talk
But
about
don't
heckling on
compare
social media,
JNU.
Sorry?
If
No,
you
no,
don't
there are
know
multiple,
about getting into
multiple
JNU,
issues.
if
Okay,
you're
no,
talking
no, no,
about
no. One
getting-
second. Hear my question. All right. Okay, my question is, so what you're accusing the center of doing on a national scale, it's the same you're facing here. She said there's no freedom of expression in your state. You're saying there's no freedom of
Difference
expression in the country.
opinions. So see, she's talking from her experience. I would speak from my experience.
Why you don't know,
Let's go
Nusrat,
one
that
by one.
people have been arrested?
Madam, let's go
everybody
one by
knows-
one. Let's go
everybody-
one.
Let me
Madam, come
finish,
on.
Didi.
You
People-
same courtesy to each other accord. Yes.
Yes, of course. People have been arrested so that unrest isn't caused. A small meme or a small post can cause riots in Gujarat. We've seen that. Small post can cause riots in my constituency way back
Then why
in Basirhat.
stand for the cause of Greta Thunberg? Where,
So why- no, I'm just-
where,
let
then
me-
why
let me
stand
finish,
for her
Preeti,
cause?
let me-
Where a FIR today is against the toolkit she tweeted out.
Let me finish,
You
Preeti.
defended that, but you're in hypocrisy here.
Let me finish, Preeti. So I was just talking on the note where Agnidi says that people are heckled. So now when you come to heckling, I face heckling every day from the opposition with any goddamn post I make or any statement I make. Where is the freedom of expression are you talking about? Where is it?
See.
I'm sitting in state, but I have like millions of followers, which is not just restricted to state. It is all over. And I see the opposition heckling me every day. I get death threats.
Preeti, trolling
I get rape
and,
threats.
trolling and arresting is two different
All right, madam,
things.
let me ask the
I
same
wish I
question.
could arrest
Okay,
all of them.
Let's
But if
go.
you're
Okay, I'm going to
arrested
come
for
in.
7 to 10
Madam,
days,
the same
1 month.
question applies to you. You're okay with an FIR lodged against the toolkit which Greta Thunberg tweeted out, but you're not okay with an arrest made in your
Yeah,
state.
so don't we know what she tweeted and what was
Ma'am,
the
most say
intention
no.
behind
They-
it?
most will say no,
Everything
most will
came
also
out.
say yes.
Everything came out in the public.
You don't think
Everything-
this is
how she
hypocrisy?
had planned and how other things were planned, how Mr. Rahul Gandhi was behind it. Everybody knows about it. It's all in the open.
All
So
right, ma'am.
that FIR is absolutely fine. But
But this is
heckling,
not.
trolling, and a person, if he draws a sketch or if he creates a meme, she'll be arrested for 10 days, 15 days, 1 month. Is it same as trolling, you want to say?
Causing unrest is right or wrong.
Oh,
We leave the
creating meme
question-
of Mamata Banerjee
we
is
leave the
causing
question
unrest?
To the viewers, we leave the question to public. You know, they
Creating
say-
meme of, I didn't
they
know,
say
creating
let's
meme
go
of
one by
Mamata
one,
Banerjee
there's
is
no
causing
point.
unrest.
But they always say कि वही होता है जो मंजूर खुदा होता है, but यार वही होता है जो मंजूर आवाम होता है. So we leave it to the आवाम. Yeah, you all decide what to do.
All right, okay. Let's go on to, I have 2 minutes, okay? So there's this other topic which is another issue which has at least your state very, very divided where the youth of your state is concerned. Her mic is not working. Can we please get...
Hello?
No, it's working, Nusrat. No, it was working. We all heard you. We all heard you. Okay. Which is that this polarization versus appeasement. What's the difference? Go ahead. Because you have charged Mamata Banerjee of blatant appeasement. The fact is, yes, she does hold the appeasement, the minority welfare portfolio as well. But what are you doing? What are you doing in terms of polarization? You think what's going on is fine?
It is not fine at all. What has Mamata Banerjee, what has the TMC government done for the minorities? What has they done? Except for using them as vote banks. What has it done? She has been giving bhata, those, help to the muajjims for the last so many years. And she claims that BJP is non-secular and they are secular. If they are secular, then why didn't the Hindu Purohits get money? Why did only the Muslim muajjims get money for all these years? And in the bordering districts of Murshidabad, Malda, where Hindus are minorities,
Madam,
there
3
then
months
the-
ago, if I am correct, she did give it to the Hindu Purohits.
just a few
Yes,
months back.
But she did.
Yes,
So don't
she
just
did
don't-
a few months back
Yeah, but
because
be
few
fact.
months are
Yeah,
left
quote
for
facts.
elections.
Yes, but she did.
Listen, all these 10 years she didn't do. When 3 months are left for election, then she has done it. Then
Does
she
the
has given
opposition
because
not do
she's thinking
things
of
just
vote.
before election?
All these 10 years she could remember. What is wrong with the Sikh who people who are doing the puja at the Gurudwara? Why won't they get it? Why won't the Buddhist monks get it? Why only the Muslims get it?
Ma'am, but the fact is she's done it 3
She
months
has
ago.
been
So let's
always
quote facts.
politicizing
Let's
and
quote
using
facts.
the Muslim, but she hasn't done anything good for the Muslim community. Even Nusrat will agree to that.
I will not agree with
There
that.
is,
I
there
am a
has
Muslim
been
myself.
madrasas,
Okay.
but there has been no modern education in
Madam,
madrasas.
okay, madam, okay, time up. Go ahead, go.
I wouldn't be agree. I cannot agree to the fact that she has not worked for the minorities. Basically, why are we actually calling it minority ke liye kaam karna and Hindu ke liye kaam nahi karna? I think the government should work for everybody, and that is what the Bengal government has been doing. All Bengal and
Then
people,
why accuse the BJP
people-
of polarization?
People, because the history says
Hypocrisy?
you look at no, you
No?
look at
Okay.
you look at the riots here. Look at Delhi riots. Look at Gujarat, Haryana, everywhere. Minorities in India today.
There's been no riot in Haryana, madam. No,
So-
none.
All right. So
Yes,
what I'm
okay.
talking about is people, minority in India today have the fear कि बीजेपी की सरकार जहाँ आएगी वहाँ हमारी उल्टी गिनती
Do
शुरू हो
both of
जाएगी.
you see the
ऐसा क्यों है?
hypocrisy, or am I the only
So
one
I
who's
just want to know,
seeing it?
why is this fear? Why? From where did
We are
this
talking
fear
about
start
Gujarat.
getting
All right,
instilled?
madam, we have 22 seconds. Okay,
Preeti,
we've disagreed. We've
Preeti,
disagreed.
we are talking about
We are disagreeing
Gujarat.
to
We
what?
agree to disagree.
Gujarat.
What do we agree on? Going
Preeti,
ahead, representing 65%
We-
of the population of this country, what do we agree on?
We agree on sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka vishwas.
We
yes.
agree
We
on.
agree with everybody.
We
want to
agree
take
on bringing
everybody.
about a change. We agree
by
on
one.
being together on the grounds of secularity, being a human being first, rather than saying Hindutva, or rather than saying I'm good being minority. So I think being together is what matters today. And me being, if I am the torchbearer of the new India, being part of the youth, I
Do you
stand by
see
my
change
words.
being brought about by leaders such as you that represent the youth when you both can't sit on the same platform and speak at least in one voice on one subject? How do we move ahead? How do you warrant change in this country?
We from our party, I from our party and my other leaders, we are extremely determined that we would bring a change, and the change would be good for the betterment of the people of Bengal.
So I think.
Not secular in front and Muslim appeasement at the back.
So I
We
think.
are still disagreeing, but
this,
okay.
this
No, but that's-
hypocrisy
yes, so-
of
so
Ms.
on-
Mamata Banerjee.
Okay,
So
let's-
on
let's-
that
let's
note,
end-
let's not get
yeah.
into more political stuff. What I genuinely believe is we're talking about youth being a part of politics. I think experienced leaders, they should come up to guide us. Let's not get to parties. I'm talking a very neutral note. We need the experienced one to guide us, and they have to make way for people like us who are the new age India, who would come up with new ideas and more enthusiasm, strike the balance, and then work together to bring about a new, better India.
Who's your youth icon? Each of you, if you look up to one leader and say, I want to emulate this person, my youth icon, youth, not somebody who's 70 years old.
It can be anybody, like anybody right in front of me, bringing about a small change. Does not really have to be a very known face, a renowned political person, or a film star, or anybody. Anybody making a small change right in front of my eyes is an inspiration to me, at least.
Miss Paul, and we'll end on that.
There are many. Of course, Mr. Narendra Modi is my biggest icon. And of course, Swami Vivekananda, Netaji Subhash
I
Chandra.
said it.
But youth icon, of course,
I know, it's okay.
would be Mr. Dilip Ghosh, would be Mr. Babul Supriyo. Of course, why not? Of course. Of course, Mr. Dilip Ghosh also.
Okay.
The way he connects with the people, he of course is a youth icon.
Every elderly people, we all connect with people.
Dilip Ghosh
All
is
right,
of
okay,
course.
okay, fine. Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, please raise a warm applause. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for joining us. You both promised me you're not going to fight. It's not good to mislead your moderator. All right, appreciate you joining us. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the warmest applause for these two lovely ladies. Do well. And yes, you represent 65% of this country. Good luck.